see, here on Funky Friday, we don't need that cute shit. We need that real shit. So give the camera the real introduction back in the yard.
Oh, if we going back in the yard, I had to get it to him. Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy, Jalil, and it's Yard Talk 101, all right? And we're going to give you the scoop on what's happening here on Funky Friday. It's your boy, Jalil, and I'm here with Cam. Y'all know what it is. It's a show you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
That's what we doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
HBCU alumni, Virginia State.
Come on now, building.
Now, listen. I have a list. I told you too, it's really about like 5 of them.
All right, let's roll.
That I really want to get down to the grits and, you know, meat and potatoes of the whole situation. Every time I talk to a person from HBCU, my first question is, what was your first normacy or everyday experience where you kind of was in the presence on a day in and day out basis of Caucasians? How old were you?
So interesting enough, you know, my family moved around a lot. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. We moved to a little suburb called Waukegan. Then we went to Wise Earth. Long story short, but I lived in Georgia for a short period of time. So
as a youth?
As a youth.
Okay.
So from 4th grade to 6th grade, we moved here. I was in Perimeter. In the perimeter area, so at Dunwoody.
Yes, sir.
And then we moved to Alpharetta. So at that point in time, that's probably in that point in my life where...
So from 4 to 6 years old?
4th to 6th grade.
4th to 6th grade, that's like 10?
Yeah, that's...
8 to 10?
Yeah, that's when that's all I knew.
Okay.
And then we moved back to Chicago. I went to a school in a suburb called Evergreen Park. And 6th and 7th grade, that was the majority of what life looked like. So you can just say from 4th grade to 7th grade, that's what my life looked like on a day-to-day. To 8th grade.
7th through college.
It was spicy. It got spicy. That's because I went to...
Spicy is a synonym or meaning of...
Just anything, whatever you want it to be.
But you had
more context.
You had diversity.
Correct.
It wasn't just black.
Correct. So that was when it was more of Caucasian-based. But then when I went to high school, I went to a selective enrollment high school in the city of Chicago called Lindblom Math and Science. And it was that HBCU kind of now flavor of I'm around more of our kind and just having that vibe. Now, but at the school I was at, we still had some diversity in different areas, which is what I really loved and appreciated because when you got to an HBCU, you still had diversity in different things. It may not necessarily be the color of your skin, but it was your thoughts, your minds, and your ideas.
It's the culture.
It was the culture.
Yes, sir. So as you navigate, you know, for the consumer, and I always tell the guests that I'm not just speaking for or because of my negligence, I'm speaking because of the viewer, right?
Correct.
Speak to me what Yard Talk is.
So...
And how did it come about?
So, all right, you want the short story or the long story?
Man, we got time.
All right, then. So, look, go ahead, relax now. So... Freshman year of college, I go to Virginia State. I'm just really trying to find my way. At first, I was a business major. Wasn't something I really wanted to do. They ended up talking to us about how like Tyler Perry went down, did some stuff with Virginia State, da-da-da. And I'm like, that's really my flavor. Like media, that's my thing. So I switched majors. I go through school, still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Trying to find yourself.
Right. Now, as a mass comm major, that's not one of those accounting majors, that's not one of those business majors, that's not one of your engineer majors. So when I say that's not a major where you're gonna get a job right out of college.
Correct.
Where there's an opportunity just waiting on you to just get your degree. And so, you know, we fast forward, I'm a senior in high school, senior in college, well, junior year, 2013 spring. There's a students on campus that die from off-campus organization due to hazing in the Appomattox River. Now, I was in student government. At this time, I was vice president. And I mean, your reaction to that you can only imagine what the reaction of the university was.
Right.
Because they was like, God dang.
That dude
like,
died.
There's 3 students that from an organization we never heard of. It was off campus. They had them going through the Appomattox River, and it was one of them days where the river was fast and it swept them up.
So,
And I got you. Hold that. But so now at this point, I've been elected SGA president going into my senior year, and I'm trying to
president?
SGA president.
SGA president.
Yeah, so
okay.
trying to figure out how to keep the morale of our students high. You're going into the fall.
Right.
Cool. We get to the fall. I'm thinking we all right, okay.
Right.
Man, football team get into a brawl.
No way.
With Winston-Salem.
You got your hands full.
What? Stephen A is blasting us on ESPN because Stephen A went to Winston-Salem.
Okay.
So he like, man, Virginia. So of course he defended his school.
Correct.
So we losing there. There was a stabbing on campus. It was, the media came and depicted us as thugs. Truly. Like
it's
legitimately.
World War III on campus.
World War III. And what I don't think people really understand is we still kids. Like, yeah, we're in college, but you're usually in college between 18 and maybe 22, 23. You still
finding yourself,
still being young-minded at the heart, whatever. So these things happen. And at that point, I was like, yo, I need to address the media. I said, because as SGA president, the morale on campus is low.
It's toxic.
It's toxic. So how do I switch gears before we come back in the spring? So I gathered a couple poets. I'm a creative. So I was like, I don't want to just talk to them. I don't want to make some boring press conference. I ended up gathering some spoken word artists. And we were in the bottom of Foster Hall, so that's our student union.
Okay.
Black behind us. And I am addressing the media like, look, I know y'all think we this way, but we really not. And then I had the spoken word artists express themselves and the university's climate and who we really are.
So is this in the production format or is this live?
Nah, this was production.
Okay.
It was production format. We boom, hit YouTube, hit it. Yo, the campus energy changed. I ended up doing an interview with Channel 12 about it, talked about it. And at that point, because your original question was how did Yard Talk 101 come about? At that moment, I said, there is someone that needs to tell our stories.
Yes, sir.
That needs to be the ones that can control our narrative.
Absolutely.
So I graduate, magna cum laude, do all that dumb cool stuff.
Hold on, you did what?
You know, I graduated magna cum laude. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's what's up.
You know, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Just a little,
not too much.
Listen, do not judge a book by its cover. That's what it's given.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
So I finished school and I'm working retail. Now, as a mass comm major, like I said earlier, there's nothing that is waiting on me. And I'm like talking to one of my frat brothers and he's like, yo, Lil, if you're gonna keep talking about this idea, do it or shut the hell up. So I'm like, all right, well, I like talking. I like the idea. I wanna keep talking about it. So let me do it. And February 2015, man, that's when I created Yard Talk 101. And I literally started going to campuses with like a bootleg camera.
No way.
No mic. Like my first episode was on campus, no mic. So imagine wind, people walking, cars honking, like what, it didn't even matter, but it was the thought of, let me get out there, let me do it. And over the course of the last 7, going on 8 years, we went from, you know, creating a digital series on campus, because I would give you the scoop on the yard. So I talked to you about Griggs, everything that was happening, to realize I'm doing marketing for the universities. And then over the years, I just built different relationships. So that's ultimately how we got started, from brawls on campus to, nah, like we really good dudes, let me tell that story. Good young men, young women on these campuses, let me tell that story, to now having corporate relationships and different things and creating this impact.
I love that.